Welcome back to the Veterans Spotlight Series. Today, we are 3 Marines, 1 mic.
Bam, bam. What do we do here?
We welcome Liz,
What's up, Liz?
Marine Corps veteran.
Hey, welcome. Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah.
Come here often? Not so much?
Yeah.
All right, Liz.
So thank you for coming after you ran 9.5 miles.
On foot. And not from the cops.
On purpose.
I don't think.
I don't think cops could run 9.5 miles.
Not most of them. Oh, shit. All right, Liz. Former Marine. Why the Marine Corps?
Well, I thought their uniforms were really great.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Even when you have your hands up, they look good.
Yeah. But really, my uncle was in the Marine Corps, and he actually had transferred over to the Army, and he could not say enough about the Marine Corps. So he's like, "You'll always be a Marine. Doesn't matter. I don't care. You know, I'm in the Army, but you'll always be a Marine."
But
It
once
doesn't
upon a
matter."
time, I was in the Marine Corps.
He's like, you know, he had his reasons for going, and you know, he was in Vietnam when he was a Marine, and you know, he got out and then went back in. So that was a choice that he made. So,
Yeah.
but he's like,
I got a
I'm
ton of
always
friends that did it.
Yeah, I got friends.
Got out and went in the Army.
yeah.
One of my buddies got out as a staff sergeant, went in the Army as a reservist. Killing it.
Well,
He's doing great.
my uncle ended up as a, I don't know, like a colonel or something. He got up there and was working for Homeland Security and everything. So he did well for himself.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was a really good example for me, and yeah, that's who I wanted to kind of be like.
What? Yeah. What did you do in the Marine Corps? What was your MOS?
Aviation Operations Specialty. That was my MOS, 7041. Basically, anything they told me to do is what I did.
Like the rest of the Marine Corps. Yeah.
Pretty much, you know, mop stuff. But no, I worked in the safety department, S3,
My
doing
favorite.
like the flight books for pilots. We would send them to SEER training. We would send them to, you know, whatever calls they needed to get to make sure that they were flying. So that's at one point, and then transferred over to like safety. So it just depended on where it was at. You know, did different things. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's
Needs of the
something
Marine
that
Corps.
you learned in the Marine Corps that you still apply to your life now?
Even when it's hard, just to keep pushing through, because you know you'll always feel like you're reaching a point where you can't keep going, but you can. You know, it's always a push yourself. So that was one thing, especially like in boot camp. You know, you feel like you're gonna die. They're pushing you, and you know they manage always to just get that little extra out of you to keep going. So I think.
Yeah. I feel like we've got a lot of similar answers to that question, and maybe there's a pattern there. I don't know. But everybody's talking about fortitude and being able to push through things, and hey, your mind is going to give up before your body ever will.
Embrace the
kind of
suck.
deal. So just deal with it. Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yep.
Also, teamwork, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good
one
point,
of you
for
suffer,
sure.
you're all gonna suffer. So
Yeah, we were just talking about it in the other room. Like, Johnson forgot his beanie. Take him off.
right.
Yep, take them off.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So Liz, what do you do now? I know you just did a little career change.
Did.
Went back to school, finished school. What are you doing?
I work in interventional radiology, so we take care of patients. You know,
Have
different
radiology
things.
addictions, right?
We do different things. So you know, if you have drainage issues, you know, your body's not draining out fluids. We'll
Right.
put something in there to make sure it drains out. If you have cancer, we put ports. I mean, we do a number of different things. So basically, I went to X-ray school,
Yeah.
and this is part of the path that, you know, comes out of that. So
Cool. Yeah.
went a little bit over the X-ray part. So
A little bit over.
yeah,
Like,
it's kind of like, you know, like the next step. So instead of taking X-rays and doing, you know, different types of procedures,
Right.
this is more like, you
pulling
know,
stuff out of people's veins and putting stuff in their bodies.
stuff
Yeah,
in
it's like a
somebody's
little bit
veins
past
and
X-ray.
arteries. Yeah. So
Right.
yes, it was a big career change for me.
That's cool. We have another friend that's Riri. You used to work with her, right?
Yeah, I used to
Before
work
she
with
moved, she
her.
was a temp nurse, and or traveling nurse, whatever they call her. She does the same thing a regular nurse does, just gets paid way more money. But she's an interventional radiologist nurse as well.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what that means, but just leave it there. She's
Taking
trying to
care of
explain it to
people.
me like 100 times, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
So we were talking about this the other day, and you had some good insight as to like any advice for those that are transitioning out.
You know, my transition out was kind of hard. It was hard to find a job. You know, they always say, yeah, you know, you're in the military, you must get, you know, special privileges. Those privileges don't mean anything when you come out, because there's a bunch of other people that probably have the same thing, or they know somebody, and it's still hard to get a job. So my recommendation would be, while you're in, get your education, because that's there for you. You know, I should have done it. I tried to, but I just couldn't focus. I was young, stupid, and I should have focused a little more on my education instead of doing whatever I was doing.
I think we all have that experience, right? I
So-
think that's a common trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely focus, you know, on your education while you're in. Don't, you know, I know that's everybody goes out and they drink because, you know, you're stressed out all the time, or, you know, there's something always going on.
Sure.
But, you know, you got to focus on what's ahead, because my career in the Marine Corps really didn't get me as far as I thought it would get me. So definitely an education is.
I had a similar experience. I thought I was going to get out of the Marine Corps after serving 4 years and just like be handed stuff. Like, here you go. Here's you're the new president of FedEx. Like,
job. You're perfect.
By the way, I've never stepped foot in a college or classroom or anything like that. But I was going to, you know, be the leader of vast enterprises.
And then you realize no one owes you anything.
Right. And then you realize that.
A little shock and awe.
Yeah.
Well, you know, with my MOS, my job, I thought, you know, I was going to get to work at an airport, you know, somewhere.
Yeah.
I was going to find a job at an airport. It's not like, you know, I was in infantry. I knew how to type and
Oh,
shovel
thanks.
paper.
Hey, listen, Liz. Listen, all right? I have more job skills than that.
A little different,
I have more
but,
job skills.
you know, I still couldn't get a job. And, you know, it took me a long time to get a job. And, you know, that was one of the things that I think one of the guys liked is, you know, that I was in the military and that he knew that, you know, I was structured and going to be on time and,
Yeah.
you know,
Of course.
be
It was
reliable.
funny because, like you said, it was hard to get a job, and then when you interviewed for your current job, that
Oh,
he
yeah.
really liked the fact that
Yeah, I think.
wasn't he Navy?
Yeah, he's in the Navy.
Loved it. Vets hiring vets.
Jeez, dude.
So,
Easy.
I think that helped, you know, a little bit. So,
You know, I'm thinking about this because I'm really offended that you said I wasn't like infantry or anything. And think about it like this. You were trying to get a job at one place, at an airport, right? As an
Yeah.
infantryman, I get a job fucking anywhere because I don't have any real skills to get out. So my opportunities are that much greater. So,
all right, Bill.
well, you know. And then once again, you know, reality sets in and here we are, right?
All right, our favorite question, who we often give props to Tim Ferriss, is if you had a giant billboard for the world to see,
The whole world.
what would your message to the world be?
Believe in yourself, because
Yeah.
no one else is gonna believe in you as much as you are. So,
Dude, Gary Vee said the same shit this morning. I saw him on
Oh.
on Instagram. Like similar thing. I love it. It's weird. It's the reticular activating system, Liz. That he's like, you better get fucking pretty confident in yourself because you gotta sell that shit. You know, the gist of it. I love that though. You have to. You have to be confident. You have to
So
believe in
that was
yourself.
like that was my soapbox when we launched the challenge last week.
Yeah.
oh,
I was like, most importantly, you have to believe that you could do this.
right?
We have people older than you and younger
Yeah.
than you and heavier than you and
Yeah.
you know, less coordinated than you that have made changes. You can do it,
Yeah.
but you have to believe in yourself.
You're not the oldest. You're not the fattest. You're not the skinniest. You're not the slowest.
Applies to everything. You know, at my job, I'm brand new. I'm straight out of school, and you know, it's like I'm slower. I don't know everything that's going on, and if I don't believe that I can do this, I could have been out the door because, you know, I'm sure they're willing to hire somebody else. You know, so I have to try and believe in myself and know that I can do it and keep pushing on.
Absolutely,
So-
there's a learning curve for sure. Like, you get me in an operating room, like, I'm not gonna do well.
Yeah.
You know?
Nor is that individual.
Right. But even the tech that's there, like you said, that's there for a week, you know, isn't going to be as familiar with what's going on as the person that's been
Yeah.
there for 30 years. There's a learning curve. But
Right.
anyway, Liz,
Perseverance.
100%. Liz, thank you so much for coming on. I know this wasn't your ideal situation, but we kind of forced you to be uncomfortable and hopefully you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time on
Veteran Spotlight Series.
Spotlight.
Great job. You're great.
No, that's perfect. It's okay. You don't have to. I'd rather you don't, honestly.
Oh,
Who's here?
wow.
Oh, Derek's here.
That wasn't bad, right? Only
still doing
question
here?
is, I forgot my phone. Like, I didn't want to come interrupt her time.
Having this.